Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's going on?
Okay, my name is Lindsay. I babysit kids.
Yes.
We just dropped her off, and all of a sudden she just passed out.
Who's passed out?
The little girl, she's 3. She fell pretty bad yesterday, and she's been fine, and then all of a sudden we dropped her off this morning, and she walked in, and she just kind of passed out, and she went limp.
Okay.
I don't know.
Are you with her now?
Yes, and so is her dad. I called her. Yes, hurry, she's bad. There's something wrong.
Okay. Is she awake right now?
Yeah.
No, stay on the line with me. I have to ask you a few questions while my partner gets the medics dispatched. Okay, is she breathing?
Yes, in and out.
Okay.
Yes, in and out. I don't know what's wrong.
Okay, is her breathing completely normal?
Oh, yes, almost gone. Hurry, please.
Okay, lay down on her back.
Knocked out.
Lay her down on her back and let her head tilt back.
Okay, so I'm so sorry that what's happening.
Okay. Is she still unconscious, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No, she's not unconscious. Her eyes are open and she's like gasping for air.
What's the matter?
Fucking shock or something.
I don't know what could be wrong with her.
I don't either. She's fine. Who just walked in the house?
She got up, brushed her teeth.
I don't understand.
Lindsay, it's okay. They're on the way.
She just walked in the house and just passed out.
Hey.
Parkinson.
Hey. Look at Daddy. Hannah. Look up.
You're okay. I love you.
Hannah.
I love you, Buttercup.
Hey.
So wake up. Here we go.
Jason Wesche and his toddler daughter Hannah moved in next door to Lindsay and her long-term partner Timothy J. Smith in June 2017. He had suddenly become a single father after his wife Adrienne Latham was imprisoned for trafficking and using heroin. Hannah was born addicted to the drug and remained so for most of her life. After learning Wesche was looking for a job, Smith offered him one in his construction company, saying that his wife could look after Hannah while he worked. With 4 toddlers under her charge, life was hectic, but it worked because the children could buddy up while playing or going out on adventures. On that fateful March day, just after her father dropped her off, Hannah came into the house, and according to Lindsay, said 2 words, donut and couch. Then she fell forward and hit her head. She had been there for 1 minute and 27 seconds. From the off, police were confident that it was either Lindsay or Wesche who had harmed Hannah, and both were questioned within hours of that first call. Wesche at the hospital, Lindsay at the police station.
We've talked to the doctors down at UC. Hannah's not doing good. Okay? Whatever happened to her happened this morning.
Oh my God.
It's not from the fall from yesterday. She has a severe brain bleed.
Oh my God.
So what we need is the truth from you.
That is
because
the truth.
we need to know how this happened. That way we can treat her.
I'm absolutely telling you the truth. Oh my God.
The way it's looking right now is that this happened at your house because we need to find out. We need the truth.
I swear to God, I'm telling you the exact truth. We walked in the house.
From what the doctor's saying, she did not walk. She did not talk with this type of injury.
If you wouldn't, who would?
I don't know.
Okay. I believe you're not being honest with us, and you need to come clean with it. Because you're going to be a part of this. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Okay, as one mother to another, you can't kid. You can't joke around about this. You can't hide behind it. You need to come ahead of this and tell us what's going on and what you know.
Yeah, I don't know anything that goes on over there, but then I know she's mischievous.
Okay, what happened this morning?
Nothing at my house.
About something happened today, okay?
Yeah, nothing happened this
probably
morning.
not going to make it.
You're fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not.
We're not. So this is going to be a homicide.
We need to find out what's going on.
Oh my God.
What did he say to you this morning?
God, I'm even trying to remember what we even said this morning. I said it's snowing again.
How did he act?
Normal. Completely normal. This was a completely normal morning.
By shifting their focus to Hannah's dad, detectives are trying to lure Lindsay into a false sense of security that she is not the main suspect. By doing this, she may be more likely to give information away. While doctors at the hospital made horrifying discoveries. In addition to swelling in Hannah's brain, she had a black eye and several small bruises across her chest, scrape on her chin, bruise on left side of her head as well on her shoulder and neck, and a swollen bruise on the back of her head. The doctors confirmed that her injuries were consistent with her being shaken. This landed Lindsay, her husband, and Jason in front of detectives on March 8th.
The beating that took place on her head was absolutely in a time frame of the time she was in your house to the time that had to be almost immediate prior to coming to your house. That there's absolutely no positive way that this child was sitting down, playing with blocks, having conversations, that it absolutely could not have happened. Have you ever seen TJ strike any of the kids?
No, he's not even, he's hardly ever home. And when he gets
home... Was he there this morning and you're just covering, you're lying?
No, he was at the barn.
Is it just to reach out and take a guess? Tell me what's happened.
I'm sure she did something bad and got in trouble. She's a little mischievous.
This is the second time Lindsay mentioned Hannah being mischievous. Lindsay is blaming Hannah for her injuries, which is a big red flag.
I don't know that I've asked her, but I'll say, oh, did you fall? Did you jump off the couch again? Because she jumps off the couch a lot.
Do you know if there's carpet over there at the house?
I've never been in there.
When you say he has a temper, I'm listening.
I've never seen it, but like when we talk about like things that go on the job site or whatever, if the guys get into a fight, like we're friends. He and I are friends. I'll kill somebody if they hurt my kid. Or like the other day, he got into a fight, I guess, with one of the guys on the job site, and he's like, "You don't want to do that to me." You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. But I think he's even said I have a temper.
Well, Jason's telling us that she gets hurt a lot at your house. That she always comes home with bruises.
That's completely untrue. She comes to my house with bruises.
Okay, so who do we believe?
I know.
How many kids you have?
I have 2 myself. And then I just lost one.
Yeah.
I don't know anything other than what I've told you. Like
All right.
I don't know of anything that has happened that
could help us out with this.
Other than I don't know what goes on over there, and he's gone a lot. I take care of her, and I am the one that takes care of her. She comes to my house a lot in dirty clothes, not a bath. I wash her clothes. I make sure she's taken care of.
Well, here's one thing I'm going to tell you. If you're trying to, I don't know, play patty cake with the ideas that you don't want to look at him as a bad father, if you didn't kill her, he did. It's as simple as that. It's one or the other.
I didn't.
Well, then, I mean, if you got some things that you think you need to tell us about him, you need to be telling us. He's not going to get Father of the Year, because if you didn't kill her, he did.
Like in a corner. She don't play. She ain't, you can tell, but kids that are messed up from messed up parents, they're not normal kids. She's very she's very introverted, very kid. So I always thought something was wrong with her. Then this happens, she starts playing with it from falling. Well, she falls all the time. Right.
After an hour and a half, she was allowed to go home, and the mom of 2 thought that was the end of matters, so went to the hospital where she was denied access to Hannah's ward. Detectives also spoke with Hannah's half-sister and her grandfather, whom she spent every other weekend with. They provided interesting insights.
It's third sir. Okay. Do you currently live in the house?
With my mom.
With your mom? Hannah's your stepsister then?
Hannah's my half-sister.
Your half-sister, okay. Do you stay with your father often?
Yeah, weekends and days that I don't have school.
Is there anything that would make you feel that what happened was done in malice?
Like she didn't fall?
Yes.
Like it wasn't an accident?
Yes, is what I'm asking.
I mean, she goes to Lindsay's Monday through Thursday, and she goes to a different babysitter on Friday.
Okay.
For some reason, she likes to go to that babysitter more than Lindsay's.
Okay.
That's the only thing I have to say.
Have you ever spoken to Lindsay?
I go over there, and because I'm in cosmetology, so I go over there and I do her hair.
Okay.
And she's going out.
What type of person is Lindsay?
She's nice, and she has 2 other kids that aren't the same age as Hannah.
Does anything seem odd about her?
I mean, her kids were kind of rambunctious, and she didn't get, mad. She didn't snap at them.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your dad. What type of guy is he?
My dad was my best friend, and, I mean, that was my whole heart. He's been there for me more than anybody else has.
Okay.
Because these past few years, I've been going through a lot of stuff, and he's always been the one to take care of me and be there for me.
So he's kind of your rock then?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, you know, you looked at your dad in the room and you asked him, very concerningly that, did she really hit her head? Did she really hit her head? Well, what would make you ask him that?
Because I mean, if a kid's going to fall and hit their head, it obviously has to be pretty hard for it to start bleeding like that.
True.
So I'm just concerned whether somebody maybe pushed her and made her fall, or somebody hit her and made her fall, or somebody hit her and just hit her and made her hit her head and hurt her like that.
Did you change your clothes, help her change her clothes or anything?
Gave her a bath Saturday.
Did you see marks on her?
I mean, not like marks. I mean, she probably had some bruises on her legs or something.
Okay. Did she have bruises on her neck or her chest?
She did have a bruise on her chest right here.
She had one bruise on her chest or several?
One, I think I just seen one greenish brown bruise.
You ever notice any kind of change in her?
Yes.
You have?
In the last few weeks, I was telling my family that I thought maybe she didn't like this babysitter. She had 2 marks on her arm, which were probably still there because I noticed it over the weekend, like I had fingerprint marks. And I asked her, and, you know, she's 3, she speaks pretty good, and she told me babysitter. And I noticed there was a bruise on her chest. And that last weekend I had her, which was 2 weekends ago, I noticed there was a bruise around here on her, and I asked her about that, and she said babysitter.
I guess she's been going to Lindsay for 8 months.
I've been seeing bruises on her pretty much the whole 8 months.
The whole 8 months?
Pretty much here and there, but I've been taking it, okay, little kid, fall down. This time you got a bruise here and a bruise here.
Have you ever asked Jason? Like, man,
I've asked him several times. What's up? Is this babysitter a good babysitter? And I told him, I said, I've asked her, I saw a bruise on her, you know, and I said, he says, yeah, they had another daughter close to her age, and they rough house, you know, there's other kids, and
that's what the babysitter's relaying to Jason?
I assume.
Did she ever say anything to her dad hurts her?
No, she loved her dad.
So all these small little bruises and the ones on the chin.
Yes, I know about those right there.
And even the one on the neck.
Yes, I remember the one on the chin, yep.
And the neck there.
Yep,
That's all
those.
From that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You saw, I mean,
the next, it was,
up under her chin like that. So
well,
she would have been extended pretty far.
She went like that. Yeah.
Okay. And what day did this happen?
Tuesday.
Okay. This week.
Yes.
Okay.
Tuesday when it was nice out. It was
Is that the same day?
noon, 11.
Okay.
11 that morning. We went out before lunch.
Okay.
Same day as the train?
No, the train was Wednesday.
What day? Okay.
Yeah.
So which side did she fall on Wednesday when she fell off the train?
Her right.
Her right side.
Yes, she smacked her face on the right.
Her right side on the train?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Her right side. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
No,
think
you're
of
fine.
everything
You're
that's...
fine. So it's probably that wasn't the train then?
Is that the
Because
left
that's on
side?
her left
Oh,
side.
yeah. I obviously cannot tell my right from my left.
No, it's.
Yeah.
But you're sure that she fell on her right side off the train?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm positive.
Positive. Okay. All right.
So I didn't actually see the train. I haven't seen the train. How tall is the train?
About that high off the ground. And she was standing up on it.
Yeah.
Doing the surfing thing.
Yeah.
And it went out from the side and she went down like that. With, her arms back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
smacked.
Smacked the right side of her face?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I freaked out and ran out there. I'm like, are you okay? She jumped back up and she said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, let's go put ice on it. Let's sit down and play fart.
What was she complaining of?
Headache. Her head hurt.
The right side. None of this was on her right side from the train, you're saying?
No, that's from the gravel.
Okay.
She literally bit it.
Okay.
Full force running.
And you said when she totally bit it, her head was going down towards the ground?
Yeah, she smacked her chin.
Her chin right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a problem. There's no mark directly on the point of her chin. We're looking at marks.
Very little to no bruising right here in the middle. It's on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the right.
Like I said, I was far away too. I was way behind them, so.
And then up underneath.
Underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when people fall, you're gonna have bruising on the sharp points. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be this point, none here, and then some here. Or if you're over here, you're gonna have some here.
And she could have. I don't know. I
Or
honestly,
you'll have some
I was
here.
just coming out of the door and
If
they
you
took
fall
off.
straight forward, you're not gonna have from a senior neurologist, okay?
Yeah.
He's telling us that the brain injury that she sustained was absolutely not 24 hours prior or even an hour prior. The injury that caused this, or the incident that caused this brain injury was immediate. So whatever happened did not happen prior to her getting to your house. It was absolutely instant.
Okay? So, and if you believe us that it's instant, you're agreeing that, okay, she fell because she got hit or something happened. Something caused this, okay, in her head. She fell because of that. All right? What caused that?
What accident caused this?
She fell in the door and hit the concrete step. She
When?
tripped Thursday morning.
Walking into the house?
Yes. So when I opened up the door, she was coming through and she slipped on that concrete step and the metal part, she hit the metal part on her eye.
Which door?
And the
back
one,
door or
yeah,
into the
the one
house?
going into the house, the carpet. And so I got her back up and she stood up and looked up at me and did say, I want donut and couch, and then collapsed.
The doctor said when this injury occurred, she was out. We've come a long way. We got past that, okay?
Yeah.
You're right there. You're right there.
When I opened the door, I dropped her. And I slipped and fell.
Tell us what happened.
So I slipped on her blanket when I opened the door, and we both went down, and she hit that concrete step really hard.
Where at? On her head?
On her face,
Where?
yeah, because I was holding her on the left side. And when I slipped, it hit her side. I actually hit my head on the door coming down, but she smacked her face, her head really hard on that concrete step.
Okay, and then what happened?
We got up. I tried to get her to come to. She did ask me for a donut and couch out in the garage, not inside, but she did when we first walked in and Jason walked out. She said,
So now you're saying she asked that before?
yeah.
Okay.
And I fell and she fell.
Where were you at when you fell?
Against the door, trying to get the door open. I was holding her. The blanket was kind of like falling because he had handed her to me, and I put her down, and then I picked her. No, he put her down, and when he walked out the door, I picked her up with the blanket, and it got tangled up. And when I opened up the door, it got tangled, and I slipped. I don't know what to say.
Start with these. How do these get here?
I didn't do that. I don't know.
Okay.
I really didn't do that. I don't know.
How does this happen?
I slapped her upside the head.
With what?
My hand.
Open, closed?
Yeah, open.
What caused that?
She took all of the, I don't know why she'd been in trouble. She took all the ketchup out and squirted it into the toilet while I wasn't looking.
That's frustrating.
And I'm like, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
What else had she done that day? Is this like a culmination of things building up?
Mischievous.
What day was that?
Was it last week? This week?
This week? Early this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't think that I hurt her.
After an hour of digging, she finally started to confess to some of the injuries found on Hannah's body.
So what caused this?
I smacked her on the chin for doing the ketchup. It was the same thing.
Okay. So this is the same incident.
Yeah.
Tell us about this. Because this is not a smack. I just want to tell you right now, this is not a deep bone contusion from an open-handed smack. Okay? Knowing that.
I didn't.
No,
I wasn't like that.
listen. Knowing that we know that, what happened here?
The same thing. It was the same incident.
Tell us, though, what happened, these specific bruises.
When I caught her doing the ketchup, I took it away and I put her on the potty because I figured she had to go pee anyway. And I said, Hannah, you can't do the ketchup. And I got mad. I just slapped her inside the head and went like that.
Closed?
Yeah, like that.
How many times? Don't say once. Yeah.
a couple times.
Because look, bruise.
Yeah,
bruise.
yeah.
Okay. Does he give you permission to discipline?
Yeah.
I mean, spank and stuff? Okay.
Which I don't really spank. I don't even know why I was mad that day.
So these were closed fists, like uppercuts?
Yeah.
Okay. And this was an open-handed smack? Was it really open-handed?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. The bruises on the chest.
Honestly.
Listen.
No, I believe you.
Do you see the pattern here?
Yes.
Deny.
How about this big one down here?
I did not touch her chest. I'm definitely telling you the most positive truth. I did not touch her chest.
Okay. So look.
But I was mad that day.
Let's look at this. Okay.
And we also, sorry to interrupt, we also know exactly what these are.
Yeah.
They're, in all these cases, they're consistent. I mean, you can literally take 100 of them and put them up on the board right here, and they're all going to have the same exact bruises. And anyone who knows what they're talking about or what they're looking at will say, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this.
That's up to you, okay? We want to know what happened.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you if he gives you permission to
That's
discipline.
what we're trying to figure out.
Okay. I mean, what's discipline and what's not. Look, she's not yours.
Right.
Well,
honestly, I don't like kids that aren't mine either. Does that make me a bad person? I really don't.
I do like kids that are mine.
Yeah.
I have a lot.
Well, then you were
I
different then.
I had a lot of. I've had some things going on. I had a miscarriage 2 weeks ago. That was really traumatic, and I took care of 4 days. 14 weeks.
How long ago was this?
Right at the end of February.
Have you been trying to have another one? Been having a hard time?
Yeah.
Do you know about her
This is
mother?
the second miscarriage.
Do you know about her mother? You
Oh,
know
yeah.
anything about the mother?
Yeah.
Does that piss you off?
Yes, and I
This
don't know
is
why
what
I
I'll do.
hurt her. I don't know why I even slapped her or was even
No, I'm
mad.
talking
I know
about
why I was. It was me.
Does her mother piss you off?
Yes. Hardcore because I would
Because you're
never.
trying to have a child. Trust me, I know.
With this, everything. You, the hard part is just saying it out loud because you probably haven't even said it out loud yet, right? You told DJ about it, about how you feel, about maybe going too far with Hannah.
It's too much. It's too much on one person.
It was. It was.
You got it out, okay? Let's finish it. Let's get it all the way through, okay?
It's probably the same incident. Was it? Was it the same incident?
What happened?
Hannah, you know better.
Did we know
I
that?
didn't mean to hurt her. I wasn't even trying to hurt her. I was trying to get her
Well,
attention.
this
Like,
stuff
you can't.
didn't hurt her. This stuff's not what hurt her. I mean, it may have hurt, obviously, but she's being disciplined.
And I'm not like that. I really am not an aggressive person. I've never even like.
Well, normally, but these aren't normal circumstances.
No, I'm not normal right now.
No.
I'm not.
Knocked her unconscious. What knocked her unconscious?
It's really not.
I did not. I would never hurt anybody that bad. We did fall.
Did
we
you shake
fell.
her?
Yeah. Because I was trying to get her to come too.
How hard?
Like, Hannah,
No,
wake up.
I mean, prior to her passing out. Is that what caused this? Here's the thing. I don't think that you're strong enough or big enough to strike her
No.
to cause this damage.
No,
and
I
I
would
don't
never
think a
do
doctor
that.
would either.
No, and I didn't hit her
So,
Thursday at all.
I believe you.
Yeah, we
I
fell.
believe that you did not hit her.
Yeah,
Tell me what happened.
we fell. She smacked her head. We got up and I shook her, trying to get her to come too.
I'm talking, this takes a shaking.
And I remember like putting her on my thing, I sat down like this on the floor. And I was like holding her, like spread like her legs over like that. And I'm like, Hannah, wake up, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, do you want some juice? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you waking up? You're
What
up.
did she do to make you shake her?
She wasn't answering me.
No, I'm not talking about...
This is
I'm
before
not-
the fall you're talking. Before she would have been unconscious. Something had to have happened.
Tell us what happened.
Well, so she didn't want him to go to work. And he's like, I gotta go. So he rushed out, and I was like, Hannah, you can't do that. Daddy's gotta go to work.
You shook her.
Yeah. And I shook her, and I remember picking her up and squeezing her, and we did fall. But she did ask me for donut and couch before I...
How hard did you shake her? I mean, what was the shake? What was...
She was in trouble.
Show me. Yeah. Then you were angry.
During the interrogation, Lindsay confessed to slapping Hannah on head, uppercutting Hannah on the chin with a closed fist, poking her in the chest, grabbing and squeezing her tightly. Sadly, Hannah passed in the hospital on March 18th due to severe brain damage. Her trial began on April 2, 2019.
Bruise or pain that Hannah expressed to the back of her head?
No, not the back of her head.
Hannah died from traumatic brain injury due to blunt impacts to her head. I've shaved her hair because I couldn't tell with certainty whether or not she had injuries on her skin that I could see. This photograph shows 2 injuries that are visible on the skin of the scalp.
Were there injuries that you noted that were significant to your ultimate determination in this?
Yes, the bruises on the head, trauma to the eyes. Hannah also had brain damage, and that's the problem. She had tremendous brain damage. The impacts alone, the bruises themselves, weren't the problem. It was the blunt force, the tremendous force that went through her brain that was the problem. And if the force is sufficient, a person can't survive.
You heard the first version of events that the defendant in this case gave. First responder. Next day. Again, she went to take off her jacket and she just fell.
And she fell like that, and there was a wheel. I think she hit that.
Do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical certainty as to whether or not Hannah could have been walking or talking or behaving in a normal fashion after receiving the injuries that resulted in her death?
She could not. She would be neurologically abnormal right away, probably unresponsive within moments. This is really serious.
12 minutes later.
What accident caused this?
She fell on the door and hit the concrete step.
When?
Thursday morning.
Well, that's new. That's new information.
So when I opened up the door, she was coming through and she slipped on that concrete step and the metal part. She hit the metal part on her eye. And so I got her back up and she stood up and looked up at me and did say, "I want donut and couch," and then collapsed.
Would a simple fall be sufficient to explain that?
Absolutely not.
That's not what happened.
It is. She slipped and fell.
No.
Okay, I did not.
She didn't fall 12 inches and traumatically bruise her.
10:54, a few minutes later. Well, when I opened the door, I dropped her.
No, he put her down, and when he walked up the door, I picked her up with the blanket, and it got tangled up, and when I opened up the door, it got tangled and I slipped. The blanket got underneath my foot and we both fell. She smacked her face on that concrete step and I hit the door. I didn't in a hurry.
Would a fall being held by an adult explain the injuries that you saw?
From ground level, a simple fall cannot explain this injury. This is much too great a force.
Every time she comes home with
slapping her upside the head, hitting her with a closed fist, and then finally on March 8th, shaking her. You're left with one reasonable explanation for Hannah's injuries on March 6th, 7th, and 8th, including that fatal injury to 3-year-old, 32-pound, 3-foot-tall Hannah Wesche. And that explanation, ladies and gentlemen, is Lindsay Partin. And you heard denial after denial, but that truth finally came out.
The cause of death here was brain swelling, subsequent to the impact. This whole thing did not occur in 2 minutes or in 1 minute. This took time for the brain to swell. The brain doesn't swell instantaneously.
Can you offer an opinion about the amount of time between the injury and the onset of the first symptoms?
In this case, I do not believe it was immediate.
If the state's pathologist had testified as to a significant or severe force, you would disagree with that?
Yes, I would disagree with that. This picture taken of the back shows a central bruise, and it shows more bruising on a larger area below and to some extent to the sides. The bruising that occurred in the center, the dark area that I pointed out first, occurred by contact on a flat surface. That bled and settled by gravity to this area, and that's what you're seeing. Right. So what's the size of the impact is completely different to the size of the bruise that I showed you.
Did you have a conversation with Jason about your interview with the police?
I did.
Did you tell him that the police told you it was you or him?
Yes.
Was it you?
It was not.
Then who was it?
Objection. Speculation.
And you have spent more time sitting in... He was never put in an interview room. He was never taken to the station. He wasn't sat in a room for 4 hours. He wasn't shown photographs of this child. He's either covering up for himself or covering up for his friend. Why didn't you throw Jason to the wolves, to the detectives on March 8th?
I didn't want anybody to be in trouble. I wanted to protect everybody.
Did you lie to the police?
I told them what they wanted to hear.
What do you mean you told them that what they wanted to hear?
All of their questions, like leading into it's an accident, did she fall, all of those things. I just agreed with them because the day before, for hours, I told them what happened. And even an hour into that second interview, I told them what happened. They didn't want to hear it. They actually told me they didn't want to hear it. They didn't care what I had to say of my truth. They only wanted their own answers. I felt pressured. I felt forced. I felt bullied.
The standard of law is very clear. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you had a doubt based in reason and common sense, your verdicts are not guilty. That is what the law demands of you. That is what the law demands.
As to count 1 of the indictment, endangering children, we, the duly impaneled jury, do find the defendant Lindsay Partin guilty. As to count 2 of the indictment, endangering children, we, the duly impaneled jury, do find the defendant Lindsay Partin guilty. As to count 3 of the indictment, endangering children, we, the duly impaneled jury, do find the defendant Lindsay Partin guilty. As to count 4 of the indictment, involuntary manslaughter, we, the duly impaneled jury, do find the defendant Lindsay Partin guilty. As to count 5 of the indictment, endangering children in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 2919.22, subsection B1, we, the duly impaneled jury, do find the defendant Lindsay Partin guilty. And finally, verdict form 6. As to count 6 of the indictment, murder, we, the duly impaneled jury, do find the defendant Lindsay Partin guilty. All 12 signatures.
My brave daughter, smart daughter, loving daughter, caring daughter, adventurous daughter, beautiful daughter, strong daughter, charismatic daughter, gone. Our precious Hannah was robbed of an entire lifetime. Her family was robbed of an entire lifetime with her. No more birthday parties for Hannah. She will forever be free.
I can't even begin to describe the anger that I feel. Obviously, I'm hoping you give her the maximum punishment you can give her. I hope she never gets out of jail for what you did to my daughter. I hope and pray every single day that you get the same treatment in jail that you showed my daughter.
I do sentence the defendant Lindsay Partin to a lifetime imprisonment with parole eligibility after 15 years. I don't have any words of wisdom. I just hope that everybody at some point can find a measure of closure, and I wish everybody the best. That's really about all I can say about it. So with that, we will conclude the sentencing and go off record.
Thank you, Judge.